Just wait for a few guys to get in here. What's up, guys? Breaking news from the Bring the Thunder podcast. On the last day of the NBA season, Kevin Durant gets traded. How fitting. To the
Yeah, of
Houston
course.
Rockets for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the number 10 pick, and 5 future second-round picks.
Of course, it's one of the teams he wanted to go to. The star gets his way.
Gets his way on a day where it's the biggest day in Oklahoma City history, Oklahoma City Thunder history.
Of course, he tries to steal our shine.
But my opinion, just quick thoughts. Not much thought into it, but what a shitty trade for Houston. They fucked up to me anyway. I don't see the reason for that.
They're probably going all in. I wouldn't be shocked if this is the last move they make. They'll probably, every time KD goes somewhere, he starts recruiting.
That's a fair point. He might have someone coming with him. But as of right now, as it stands, I mean, you trade Jalen Green, who hasn't been great, but he's still super young and brought you to the playoffs. And Dylan Brooks, who is basically the whole identity of that team. He started the attitude. He started the defense first mindset. And the number 10 pick for a guy who's got what? 2 years left? 3 maybe? I don't know.
Probably 2.
Yeah, 2 years. I'm not sure.
I think they're just trying to buy a championship. I don't think it's going to work, but I think that's their goal.
Yeah, I mean, as a Thunder fan, I'm pretty excited about this. I think this makes them worse, especially in the long term. And this was an up-and-coming team. And, if KD brings somebody, sure, they could be better. But as of now,
I think we have some of their future picks from the Westbrook trade, too.
There you go.
I'm going to look at that, actually.
But yeah, a reunion between Durant and Steven Adams comes in Houston starting next season. I just don't think it's a good move for Houston, and I'm actually quite happy starting this Game 7 day early with a smile. I just didn't think they would have to trade Green and Brooks. I think that's an overpay for an older superstar who's on his way out. Obviously, he's still going to play good basketball, but and the 10th pick. It's too much for me.
Picks bad too.
Yeah. Suns. I mean, the Suns did really well in the position that they were in. I didn't think they would have to. I didn't think any team would have to give up that much, but it shows where Houston. It shows what Houston thought about Green.
I think that Dylan Brooks package kind of set the tone too for future trades.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to give value to get value. The one that really set the tone was Bridges. That trade was crazy.
Yeah, 5 firsts from Bridges kind of swayed everything. I mean, I didn't think Phoenix had any leverage in any trade scenario with Durant because everyone knew they had to get rid of him. But the Rockets fed them decent. Green still prospect, could end up being a good player. Brooks, we know who he is, the 10th pick.
10 picks, a good pick in this draft.
Yeah, this draft is very deep, so I mean, very good for Phoenix. I don't love it on the Houston side, but as an OKC fan, I'm happy with it.
I assume they'll get a younger guy with a high ceiling for their pick, probably someone they can try to depend on in the future.
Yeah, I mean, talking about what they could do with that pick, they could try to go upside. They could try to, I don't know, trade it, but I don't see that happening. I mean, now the question is, what do they do with Booker? Because you surround Devin Booker with Jalen Green. I don't know.
Dylan Brooks, that's guard heavy. And then you have Bill, too. That's 4 guards.
Yeah, and Beal's not getting moved because he won't waive his no trade, so.
I mean, I guess you start Green, Booker, and then Brooks at the 3.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, that's what it's gonna have to be, but maybe they end up moving Booker, try to full reset. I mean, I don't know. They're still I mean, the 5 second round picks help, but it's not that, it's not that crazy with the second round picks. So they're still looking for more picks. They still don't have much. I'm just reading more.
Hmm. So I guess on the Rockets side, it'll be
As of now.
probably Van Fleet at point guard,
Mhm.
shooting guard. I guess all they brought in is KD. So it'll be. I guess they're gonna have to start Jabari Smith now, because I don't think you can start Sengun and Adams together. And they traded Dylan Brooks, who was their 4, or who was playing 4 for them. So that opens up a spot at power forward. I guess it's going to be Van Fleet, probably Van Fleet, Amon Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Sengun.
Yeah, that
That
sounds
lineup's
right.
not that lineup's not suit like I feel like you still have to build on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, solid lineup. Does that make them contenders? I don't think so. Like, I
They
think
got
that's
rid
a
of their they got rid of 2 starters in that trade.
yeah, 2 starters and the top 10 pick for Kevin Durant. Listen, we know who Kevin Durant is, but he's on his way out. Like, yes, he's still a baller. Yes, he's still gonna put up 25, 23, but we know who he is as a, player leading a team himself, and then also to bring in his age and his contract, like 2 years of this. I don't think it gets you where you want to be. I don't think it gets you much further than where you were at this past season. So I don't know.
No, I feel like this is just a lateral move. I feel like they'll be in the exact same spot, probably finish 2 or 3 in the West, and then bye bye in the first round.
Yeah, like it's hard to play seed right now, but like a team led by Durant, I don't think ever beats a team led by Jokic right now. I don't think it beats the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think it beats the LA Lakers as of now. I don't think that roster even beats Minnesota, to be honest. So I mean, this is a interesting trade. I mean, Houston had so many depth pieces that they could have given up, but they decided to give up 2 starters and the 10th pick.
I guess I guess they're really counting on guys like Reed Shepard, Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore to turn the corner and be legit rotation guys off the bench.
That's another thing. They do have plenty guys to also, if they wanted to. Yeah, John, I completely agree with you. Rockets gave up too much, but if they did want to add, if KD had something up his sleeve and he's got someone coming with him, they do have a bunch of guys they could look to trade. Um, like
Yeah, but
Tari.
then you're really depthless if you do that.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's
Then you're signing minimums and free agency and
it's interesting. It's interesting because yeah, they could go one of 2 ways, which we already said. Like first way is this is the roster, and we think it's not much of a contender. It's a solid team, but
like first year in the playoffs with KD, are you really supposed to bank on guys who lack playoff experience to get the job done for you off the bench?
yeah. And then the other way is if someone's coming, they have guys like Eason, Whitmore, Shepard. If they wanted to trade Smith, I don't know, but
Interesting.
it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
And
I
then
don't see the vision.
they just signed their coach to that extension. I'm a Udoka.
Hmm. I don't know. This is it's not a move I would like if I was on the Houston Rockets side. I wouldn't.
Who was the last legit star guy they had? I guess Harden.
Yeah,
They,
last
they,
card they had
they,
was Harden.
they haven't had anyone since Harden. I don't know. They might like having a. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, they might buy into the hype before the season starts, but once they kind of figure out who they are, they're gonna be like, "Damn, we were better last year." Because now they don't have an identity like they did last year. I mean, the identity is gonna be the same, but the players carrying it out. Like Dylan Brooks was the main guy who came to Houston and started the defensive gritty mentality. Durant's not like that.
No, I definitely don't think this is the last move though, because they just signed Steven Adams to that $30 million contract. So obviously they're willing to have some vets off the bench. So it makes me think they might package some of their younger guys and get more vets off the bench with Adams.
Yeah, I completely agree, but I'll tell you what, if you're a Houston Rockets fan, brace yourself because you got 2 years of this, and if it doesn't work out, your franchise is set back years and years, and that's even without trading for all the veterans or another veteran. If they're going to go out and get more veterans, this team's going to be very bad for a long time.
I bet we're about to get a most improved type season from Thompson though if it stays this way because they just got rid of Jalen Green, so that will and Jalen Green has a high usage rate, balls in his hands a lot, so that that will open up Amon's game a lot, I think.
That's a good
What to
question for you, Landon. Some guy on YouTube said, what does the Suns do with all these second round picks?"
keep them and hope that they end up in like the 30s. Maybe
Yeah.
trade them down the line because the Suns are in a deficit when it comes to picks. They have like apps. I don't know if they have had a single first round pick before that trade.
No, I don't believe they do. Well, now I don't believe they did. I should say.
I think that was their whole reason they traded for all those seconds. They'll just take whatever picks they can get.
Yeah, I really got to applaud Phoenix, man, to be able to get two starting caliber players.
Honestly,
And
now that I think about it, like trading down from 10 and getting like the 15 and 24 from the Thunder would not be a horrible situation for them.
that's not a bad idea either. That actually makes a lot of sense because the Thunder are looking to trade up. So, man, on the morning of Game 7 of NBA Finals, we got Durant traded to Houston. In my opinion, as of right now, this second, dumb trade for Houston. Could change if they build the roster a bit, but dumb trade for
Yeah,
Houston. Yeah.
right now I'm like C for Houston, B for the Suns. Maybe maybe A minus for the Suns. B
Yeah,
plus, A minus.
for the Suns, I'll give them a B plus just because I'm not a huge fan of Jalen Green, but in a sense of getting a young talent like him and a proven talent like Dylan Brooks and the 10th pick on top of 5 seconds, that's a haul for a guy who's on his way out, right? So I'll go B plus for Phoenix, maybe A minus, like you said, and then for Houston, I mean, if nothing comes out of this, it's a fucking like D, because all this does is set you back. Like you were such a good team this past season, up and coming. You shocked us. We didn't have you doing much, and you made it to the second seed and lost to a team of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, but fought to the end.
No, I
Had a
just
lot
see
of
moves
promise.
like that. I just see moves like this, and it's like they realize the Thunder just have a hold on the West. They see the Thunder's future, all these picks, these all these great players,
Yeah,
one
that's
game away from
that's
winning a
really
ring.
bad.
I don't think this will be the first catch up move in the West. I think we're going to see a lot of quote unquote catch up moves.
Yeah, which is great because if these are the catch-up moves that we're talking about, they're just setting their franchises back, and we'll be riding high for years to come.
Yeah,
Man, I mean that's really it for me. Like as of right now, as it stands, I think Houston did an awful job. I'd be pissed.
yeah. I think the Suns definitely win this trade.
Absolutely. The one thing I could say about the Suns is instead of like you mentioned, instead of the 10 pick, I might have went for more variety of first rounders instead of second rounders. But listen, they still got the 10th pick, so
No, I think they could. I think they could totally trade down from that 10 and get 2 first rounders pretty easily if they wanted to. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot higher chance that a 10th overall player turns out more than a player you get in the 20s. Normally a big drop.
So he's on the stage at Fanatics Fest, and you got the news?
Oh wow.
Because I saw earlier that he said he didn't want to go to the Knicks.
No, it was Houston, San Antonio, and Miami.
Yeah, it seemed like he was on the stage as he got the news. Yeah, look at that. That's insane. You know what's funny, actually? That makes the 3 original MVPs from Oklahoma City all played in Houston. Harden, then came Westbrook, now Durant. That's wild to think about. Traded to the Rockets. I gotta say, I'm happy though. I mean, I originally saw like traded to the Rockets, and I was like, fuck. And then I saw what they gave up, and I'm like, yeah, it's actually quite nice.
You also gotta hope for his health. Dude's up there.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Has an injury history.
he has 2 years left on his deal.
Definitely a high risk, high reward trade.
Yeah, if you fill out the roster properly, because if you don't, there's not going to be any reward.
No, their roster dynamic's so weird now. Now you have like a 35, 36-year-old and then a bunch of younger players, and then you have Sengun, who's like Sengun and Van Fleet, who are like tweeners.
Yeah, like Van Fleet's a vet, but Sengun's more like towards still the younger side. There's got to be another move. There's got to be another move. Yeah, there has to be another move to trade for a 36-year-old and give up a lot of talent. Unless they really trust their depth, but I mean, a 36-year-old with what, 2 years left on his contract? I don't know.
Retiring happily too. Lower taxes.
Yeah, definitely. Man. Of course it was today.
There's a part of me that wants to run into that team in the playoffs really bad, though. I would love to.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to crush his hope.
Yeah. As it stands right now, we'd fucking run through them, like, terribly. So, I mean, let me phrase this the right way. The one problem Houston gave OKC in the past year and a half is their physicality and their defense. And they just traded that. So
Brooks, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't Sengun's a great player, but he's not a super good paint defender. Thompson's a good defender. Van Fleet's not going to give you problems defensively. Kevin Durant's a good defender, but he's not a problem. They don't really have a defender now. I guess Amon's a very good defender. I take that back.
Yeah, he's fantastic. But I mean, you trade one last time. You trade former number 2 overall pick, who's still, how old is Jalen Green? Like 23?
They might just try to go straight offense now, kind of what the Pacers are doing.
Yeah, and that's not going to work. 23 years old, Jalen Green, former 2nd overall pick. You trade Dillon Brooks, who was the backbone of that defense, the identity of that defense, seemed to be a leader in the locker room. I mean, he led them out. And the number 10 pick, which is going to be a good pick this year for 36-year-old Kevin Durant. They better have a plan.
Yeah, I don't really got much other than that. I just don't think this is the last move for the Rockets. And then
Well, we'll keep you guys updated for sure. But
my
as of now,
predictions are my predictions are Suns add one or two vets, and or the Rockets add one or two more vets off the bench, or even a starting vet. And then I see this. I could easily see the Suns taking that 10 pick and packaging it for more picks.
yeah, I don't have much of a prediction. I'm gonna hope, if I was viewing as a Houston Rocket fan, that they get another starter to pair with KD and Thompson.
You can't have a 36-year-old as your main piece, and then your bench is a bunch of 21, 22-year-olds.
Right. And then on Phoenix side, I'm gonna say they move Booker. I don't know if it's more likely than not, but they Jalen Green, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal is worse than what you had last year. So I think it might be time to
Honestly,
move on.
yeah, wouldn't shock me if it's Booker for a bunch of picks and then they go young, but they don't really have anyone young to build around. I
Well,
guess
they got that 10th pick in Booker, so they could get a shit ton from that and start the rebuild, which nobody wants to do, but I think it
may
might.
be best for them.
Yeah. Right.
But if
We
they're
will
going to
be,
do that, they have to get a lot of picks because they are not plentiful right now with picks.
no, and the second rounders aren't going to help them too much. So we'll see. But we will be back on live later, previewing the Game 7.
Comment who you think won the trade.
Yeah,
I'm
tell us,
curious.
comment who you think won the trade. We want to hear from you guys, and we'll see you later. And Thunder up tonight. Let's go.